How you doing, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. My name is Sheriff Goodman, one of the elected sheriffs in the city of Bridgeport. I'm sitting next to David King, one of the community activists. He's also a community active for the Board of Education. He's also a community activist for his area where he lives at. He also talks about the problems. He also says that the city needs to do more for our children. But not only just for our children, but we need to do more for everybody. That's the problem. And why ain't that happening? As we were speaking about, I was mentioning about this new six. They're calling themselves the new six on Boston Avenue. There's 6 houses there that actually just lost their parking spaces because the state of Connecticut and the city of Bridgeport, DOT, had made the new lanes there and forgot about the people that live there for the parking spots. But I mean, what else is new? I pay tax, but I don't get no parking. I mean, it's just, it's not funny, but it also does hurt that neighborhood because now since that happened, guess what happens? The value of the property decreases. What else is new? But anyway, besides the point of it, and there is another issue over there too. You had a person, actually two properties there that are going to actually leave Bridgeport because he's closing them down because he's in foreclosure and he says that he cannot work it out. Well, that's interesting. But mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I do give credit to somebody that came up with the new jobs for our youth, but only 300 out of how many kids in the city of Bridgeport? Wow, that's getting good. Heat that conversation up. Also in the city of Bridgeport, ladies and gentlemen, Park City Little League has been terminated. So now it's only going to 2 areas, Black Rock and Seaside. Well, what else is new in the city of Bridgeport? You know, I remember when I was a kid playing Little League Baseball. It was one of the best sports around. I mean, honestly speaking. I mean, you had 19 teams at Ellsworth Field. So that's telling you, ladies and gentlemen, something going on with our youth. Instead of them playing ball, we have other issues going on. And maybe not only on top of that, maybe it costs too much money to play ball because, as the leagues have to pay for that insurance, it does cost a lot of money. I think the city should jump in somewhere and start helping these Little League Baseball teams out. It's bad enough that the city couldn't even pay for basic high school uniforms for track. I mean, come on.
I'm about to say that, they're busy pocketing money elsewhere.
No, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, just because we pick on the issues, I mean, the issues are there. We're just bringing them out to the light because, you know what? Every time somebody tries to do what's right for the city, we don't get no answers. So that's what happens. So if that just happened, think about when you're talking to a common council member. It's like, and they're just listening to you, and it's like it went away. But that's besides the point. Dave, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What have you noticed in the city of Bridgeport? That's anything new actually happening here? Can you tell me?
No, I haven't really noticed anything new happening here yet.
Not yet. Well, how about the sidewalks on State Street and Arenison Avenue? Have you noticed those over there?
Well, they did those.
Oh, they did do them. Well, I wonder why. Election time is coming up, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe that's
Bingo.
one of the reasons that they did that. So, I mean, hey, but listen. You have a $650,000 driveway in Stratford. You have another, how much did we say it was? Another like $100,000 in law, $100,000 in attorney fees. Well, we had to pay $30,000 from the city. Oh, that's interesting. Well, let's see. Hey, we had $880,000 already. Yeah, about that, $880,000. Not only on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, the police department, Board of Education police are actually going to end up doing something with their union because they're not happy with the union representative, and they're also not happy with their contracts, and there's only a certain amount of them. Well, let's see. You had park police. You ended up getting rid of the park police, putting them with the special police, and then they still had to be separated. I just don't get it. How does a city make the mistakes that happen? But anyway, we shall learn one of these days what's really going on. And only on top of that, let's see. How many crimes actually occurred in the past 2 weeks? How many people have been shot in the past 2 weeks? Is that the police department's fault? Let's see. Wrong answer. It's the person that's carrying a weapon or the person that's actually going after the other person. But remember one thing. Like somebody said, we don't have a gang problem. But anyway, that's another pointed object. You know, ladies and gentlemen, how many people actually moved out of the city of Bridgeport so far? Does anybody know?
I don't know the count, but I know it's a lot of people.
Yeah, well,
everywhere I go, I hear people talk about I want to get out of here. There's nothing here. This place is dead. That's all I hear everywhere. Like, everybody wants to get out of here.
I don't blame them. And truthfully, I mean, there isn't anything they're here to do. I mean, listen, your kids are asking for certain things in the school system, they don't get them. I mean, second of all, I mean, look at, all right, just for an example, Bullet Havens High School. I give you congratulations because you haven't taken anything away from those kids. And not only on top of that, it's a state school, which I understand that. But guess what? Maybe the city schools should start listening from what the state schools are doing. Maybe we might go places and do other things. But the only problem is, somebody got an agenda on the Board of Education. Because I tell you what, man, wow, Jesus, God. He talks like garbage to the people. He disrespects the parents. He does this and he does that. And guess what? The other day, he disrespected his own board member. Come on, man. Give me a break. Enough is enough. You know what? If you're a reverend like you say you are, you should start acting like one. Preach the power. Don't do the power and treat others like garbage. That's what you're doing. And I hate to say that. That's what you're actually doing. And you're a reverend? Give me a break.
It goes back to what we said in our last couple of week of shows about how the religious should stay out of the politics.
Well, I think the religious should stay out of the politics because they keep saying that they're non-profit.
But what you just said is a prime example. Like, how do you call yourself a pastor, but then you're this way over here, but then on Sunday you're this way over there?
Yeah, that's true. I'm not even going to go there because I would say something to that. But you're right, 100%. I mean, what are you, phony? I mean, is that what's going on? Is that a phony or is that just a game? I mean, period. But that's besides the point. I mean, but listen, Bridgeport is the highest paying tax city in the United States. That's what they say. Also, I mean, it's just so much going on in this city that nobody can put their hands out. I mean, it's like people want to come here, but they're like, yo, the taxes are too high. Why would I want to come to Bridgeport, Connecticut? What for? Why would you want to come here? I mean, honestly, I would feel the same way as what other people say. I mean, honestly, I've talked to contractors. Dave, I would love to go to Bridgeport and build a brand new house over there, but you're crazy? The taxes there, they're outrageous. I mean, honestly, any business in the city of Bridgeport, I don't think half of these businesses are gonna survive here. I really don't. I really don't think they're gonna happen.
I've seen, I work downtown Bridgeport, and I've seen like they had this restaurant, Chickadee's. It opened, and then like before you know it was closed. I've seen a lot of businesses open and close, even right here downtown Bridgeport.
Oh, look at the guy that was in the arcade mall, a grocery store, so that the tenants upstairs and the tenants across the street can go to the store to shop. Boom! What happened? No business. No Danula? No business. Exactly. No money? No tax. No 9? Can't do this. Man, shit. I wonder how much a gallon of milk would have cost up back then, but, that's besides the point. Listen, A, B, and C. A, the taxes in the city, they got to do something. B, I believe that the city of Bridgeport needs to put a cap on people that retired on their taxes. You're not doing this. So, as the old timers retire, you're just tax. Oh, you're gonna pay me my tax today. That's what you're gonna do, and you're pushing me out. I mean, come on, give me a break.
Pretty much.
I mean, honestly, if you were 65 years old and retired tomorrow, okay, think about this. You're not getting the same money that you were collecting before, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you got a say $11,000 tax, and you don't have the same income coming in, right? Okay, so why not put a cap on retirement? So when you retire as a taxpayer in the city, you put a cap on the tax on a person's home. Okay, you're still going to collect tax, but everybody around them is still going to.
You know, I've heard, older people always talk to me, at my job, and they always tell me there is no such thing here in Bridgeport as retirement. You work until the end. There is no such thing as retirement.
Well, get an IV and just take all the blood out of me and let it come through that clear too. Because I mean, honestly speaking, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, but if you look at it right, why can't you come up with some kind of plans for the retirees so that the retirees actually stay here instead of pushing them out?
Exactly.
I mean, doesn't make any sense either. I mean, these guys worked hard. They worked hard all their lives to live in the city, and they also worked hard to build their house because. Some of these guys, they're not all from here. And let me tell you something.
They'll say, minimum wage go up. But I always said, okay, but minimum wage goes up, but so does the cost of living, and the taxes here go up. So you're not getting ahead. You're staying at a standstill right where you are because, say, if I was making $8 an hour, I went up to $9.50, but then my rent just went up, So it's no different than when I was struggling down there. I'm still struggling with the new change here, so I'm still where I was.
That's funny that you say that. You're right, though. It's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, congratulations. You got your $10 an hour. And now, let's figure this out. Taxes go up, gas goes up, your rent goes up, your milk goes up, your bread goes up. What else goes up?
Well, everything, not to mention that you're paying for your kids to wear uniforms to school. And if they're elementary students, they're going to grow. They're under 18, they're still growing, so which means when they grow out of the pants and they grow out of the uniform shirt that they must wear to school, you as a parent has to go out and provide that uniform for them to attend school, or else they will not be allowed to attend school. That's true. More money coming out of your pocket, plus the gas, plus the bread, plus the milk.
Yeah, you're right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and also the UI's going up because they're trying to get another increase. So what the heck else is new? I mean, come on, everything's going up, but you don't get nothing for it. I mean, honestly, think about it. Going back to the last snowstorm that we had, did the taxpayers get what they deserved? They got buried in.
We got buried.
I mean, I'm not saying anything about it funny, but. Yeah, one person died, but still, I mean, it's just bad that it happened. And I mean, I'm going to laugh about that one for as long as I live.
I'm not even going to touch winter because, a lot of people that live here, and myself, we hate winter, because they don't plow in certain areas. Or if they do, it doesn't even look like they even came through here. But downtown looks like, okay, the blizzard hit, today, and then by 20 minutes, it doesn't look, it looks clean.
I know. I wonder why that is. But it's just so funny that you mentioned that, yeah. Well, that's because City Hall needs to open up so the emergency disaster services and everybody else could be in there. Yeah, okay. In the meantime, somebody sent somebody home. Well, that's besides the point. Nobody wants to question that part, though. Because every time you question that part, I would never do that. I wouldn't do that. That's not me. Okay. Have a great day. But, I mean, it's funny. Listen, you go to these Board of Education meetings, they don't want to, when the parents talk, I mean, there's board members that do listen, but there's certain board members, they just take it in one here and one out. And they don't care.
Board members, they're on their phone while you're talking, and I feel that is a straight disrespect to the public. As a board member to be sitting there and you're basically saying without saying, I don't care what you're saying. I got more important things. Can you hurry up? That's pretty much what you're saying.
Yes, you are, and that's what people don't like. They're like, okay, this, that, and this. And they're like, yo, man, well, what are you doing to me? Really, honestly speaking, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense what goes on.
But then the question always comes up, why doesn't people come out to the board meetings? Well, prime example.
Why? Prime example right there. I got a referee. That's the whole almighty God. I mean, come on. He's almighty God 1 minute, and then the next minute he's, I don't know what the heck he is, a devil? I mean, what has he got, 2 of them? I mean, give me a break. I mean, you preach the the Bible, and then you come out and preach the devilish. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, which one are you, devil or worshiper? I mean, I don't get it. But anyway, that's besides the point.
I would say Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but
I wouldn't even think he would category himself in that one. But anyway, that's besides the point. You know, it's kind of rude, though, that he was very rude at one of the meetings. And, you know, well, I can't understand. What's the word I want to look for this one? Reverend. I praise the Lord in 1 minute, and then in the next minute, I want to fight you in the next. That's not a reverend's job. Come on, give me a break. But that's besides the point. You know, listen, you got some good members on that board. Some are teachers. Some know what teachers do. Some understand the rules and regulations better than others. But then you got others that don't think what's really going on is right because it's taxpayers' money. The taxpayers should know where their money's going. And I give also credit to the new superintendent that's acting as superintendent because she even brought it all out to the light. That's the first time that we ever had a superintendent that did that. My God, where does she come from? They should keep her. I mean, for crying out loud, they should keep her. But that's just forbidden to say.
I'm not going to even touch on what I was about to say.
Oh, yeah, well, let's see. The other one was here. I don't need associates to teach. I don't need this to teach. I don't need that to teach. Wait a minute. Is there something wrong with this picture? You don't need nothing to teach? Okay. I thought when a teacher went to school, they wasted so much money to learn education, to teach the education to the other child. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I just missed something here. I don't know. I mean, give me a break.
I look at it. They don't like anybody who wants to make change. They want somebody who basically plays it by their rules.
What rules are those? I mean, honestly,
whatever rules that they create as they go along.
Oh, God, let's see. They got a book. It's called Robert's Rules and Orders. They don't even follow that. Come on now. I mean, give me a break. You know, man, I can't even speak.
It's like being a kid and you're playing cards and you're like, no, this is not how it goes. This is how it goes.
Oh, I got the eights aside today. Oh, well, wait a minute. Oh, the twos are wild, but exactly. I don't know. I mean, eights are wild too. I mean, come on, give me a break. No, eights are to pick up 8. Man, whatever. I mean, come on. 8 plus 2 is 10. There you go. I mean, but that's the reality that's in some of these people's heads, especially the parents, because here they go to these Board of Education meetings and they want to talk and then they get treated like garbage. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you just like it is. You treat them like garbage, and it's wrong. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be listening to those parents because those are their kids. And you're not doing what's right by their kids. How come your kids don't go to a public school? Why not? Oh, wait a minute, I got to send my kids to Westport. But in the meantime, I'll destroy your Board of Education here. But my kids are going to Westport. Well, give me a break. No, really, truthfully?
And to me, it's a pipeline because then when those kids get older, then they're like, well, the Board Education never cared. So then they tell their kids, the school system, they don't care. And then it just keeps going down the line,
Yeah, you're right about that.
And that's exactly what starts destroying our town and our city and period.
Oh, you got that for a joke, really. I mean, listen to this. Here goes a little girl. Actually, I just want to give my condolences to that family in Milford because she lost her child. But okay, that happened. That did happen. Okay, now we got these problems in Newtown. My God, I don't know what's going on in Newtown anymore. Nobody wants to show up. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to do anything. But so that's another issue in its agenda itself. I mean, that's just crazy. Think about it. It happened with a knife. It happened with a gun. I mean, it's not about the weapon itself. It's about the person that's behind the weapon. That's the problem. It ain't the person. I'm honestly speaking. If you carry the gun as long as I have, and you got a permit in your pocket, you're not going to disrespect that permit because it's not granted that you're going to get that permit in your pocket.
Right.
That's like a what's the word that I want to say for it's a privilege to actually get that license to carry your arms. So why are you treating everybody else like garbage to bear arms if they are the ones that have pistol permits in their pocket. Hey, did it happen? The young man, he didn't have a permit, but he got a gun. Yes, it came out of the family's house, which is true. Okay, I'll give it that. But was it the person that had the permit to do the crime? No, it was him to do the crime because he was kind of mad at situations. Okay, well anyway, it's the same situation that happened in Milford. The man was mad because the girl didn't want to go to the prom with him.
Because you rejected him, actually.
Yeah. So what? No means yes. Yes means no. No yes. Or I don't know which one it is. Or yes is just across the board. I mean, come on. It's just so much.
That makes me wonder: was there drugs involved? I mean, with him, the person doing drugs.
You never know. I mean, that's another object.
They always hide it. In those towns out there in the valley and everything. They hide drug problems. And they always look at us like, oh, look at them down there. They got all the drug problem and the crime. It's everywhere. It's not just
It ain't just in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I mean, it happens in Trouble. It happens in Newtown. It happens in Monroe. It happens in Milford.
The only difference is they cover it up over there and they expose it over here.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. You got that taken. But I mean, yeah, it's true. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Yeah, you're right. But see, that's the problem. Those towns ain't in denial. At least they got the cops moving on it. They take care of it. Once when they know where it's at, boom, bang, bang, up. He's arrested. Then you read it in the newspaper.
Oh no, we don't want that in the paper. Yeah.
Well, of course not. But it does get printed. So it's not like it doesn't happen. I mean, it's common knowledge that it does happen. Second of all, I mean, look at all these kids that are suffering, man. I mean, I was taught. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you this story. This is bad. Wow. This is funny. I could probably get the girl to come on TV too, but this is funny. Her cousin goes to Harding High School. This is how deep this went, okay? Her cousin went to Harding High School a couple of years ago, about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. That's how bad it was. Do you know the other girl of that cousin got the same book as her when she graduated? Can you figure that one out? I mean, 20 years later, your book pops up. I mean, don't give me a break, but I mean, that's not to laugh about. It's not funny inside, but it's funny to say that actually happened. I can't believe that one, but it was the truth. I was shocked about it. Both of them were sitting there. I'm like, I got to get this on TV. They're like, hell no.
I mean, I believe it. I mean, a lot of teachers now these days, the kids can't take the textbooks home. The teachers make copies of the chapter or whatever, and, then they take that home because they don't have enough books so every kid can take one home.
Where's our tax money going then? I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, honestly speaking, I thought every child was supposed to be not left behind, but I guess it's a reverse. Child left behind, no child left behind. So if you go this way, I don't know.
I think that no child left behind is false advertisement because you are setting up almost every kid to be left behind because when they supposedly graduate, and I put quotes on the graduation because they will graduate, but they really won't graduate. On paper, on record, for the ceremony, yes, they graduated. But when it's time to get a job, when it's time to survive, they are not ready.
Let's see. Do they pass the SATs when they go into these colleges?
No.
Why not?
Because they don't have the educational level to really pass it.
But why not?
Oh, because they wasn't taught when they were in high school or middle school or whatever the case may be about to be on that level by the time they get there.
Oh, what else? I'm asking you, what else?
I mean, you have kids sitting in 12th grade who have a first grade reading level. I mean, you're asking me. You have kids sitting in 12th grade on a first grade reading level.
It's not funny, folks, but it's the truth. It is the truth. I mean, hey, you got special education need children, and that's the ones that are there. Honestly speaking, you hit it on the point. So why is that happening? Why is it that at the last Board of Education meeting a month ago before anything, that I can't believe this. I'm going to actually say this. 75 teachers in special ed were missing.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So, I mean, come on, now, you figure it out. Okay, if I send my child to school, on which I thought my child was safe in school, that's coming to another point now, too.
yeah, I was about to say that.
But, I mean, come on, think about it. I send my child to your school. As she's walking to school or she's catching the bus to school, you're responsible for her. A system is responsible. So you're failing our kids even by going to school. Ain't that some goddamn things? I mean, it's just so much, man. It's so much after much after much after much after much. How much more can these people take until somebody flips out? They're gonna be like, my child. Yeah, you're gonna see daddy coming down there with a 12-gauge shotgun. I wanna know what the heck's going on with my child.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not funny, but it's gonna happen one day. Listen, how many girls actually go to school? And I'm not saying this to be whatever, but anyway, either they were touched, they were fondled, or something. A sexual contact happened to them and they're scared to talk about it. How many children do you think it actually happened to?
A lot.
A lot of them. And they didn't want to come forward because they're scared. Because of what? The gang issue, and because they know that other situations may occur. But anyway, that's what else you got to learn. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, though. Really, truthfully.
It doesn't make any sense.
You know, what's the good thing I can say? On the back of the police cars, when the Board of Education goes by, what do they say on the back? We expect great things. This is Coles. I expect great things. I mean, come on. Has that really happened? Really, truthfully. Anything really happened for our children that expect great things? No, not really.
No.
So why do we have the saying on the back of the car?
Because it sounds like false advertisement.
Well, no, I know that. You know that. I mean, but that's false advertisement in itself. We got great things. We do. Name it. How many buildings in the city of Bridgeport are abandoned? That's a good question for the viewers.
Well, we go right here downtown. There you go all in the back of downtown. There's a lot of abandoned buildings that could be businesses that could.
You're right. Truthfully, right. You're right. And how many more buildings are going to be abandoned? But that's the next issue out of that. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you got to figure it out. The taxes in the city of Bridgeport are high. What are you really getting bang for your buck? Are you getting a bang for your buck, or you're not getting a bang for your buck? Are our children suffering? Yes or no? I say yes. What do you say, Dave?
Yes.
I mean, does it really matter what we say here? It's not us that sit here in this room to tell you what's really going on. It's about us coming to you to advise you that it's actually happening. You as the parents need to get involved. You as the parents to your own children need to get involved and talk about the issues that are going on in your school system. And also not just in your school system, but in your community. Expect great things, but you go green, you got more parks. More parks, more money. Where's the money going? How's it going after that? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, your bang for your dollar is not going where it's supposed to be going. But anyway, my name is Sheriff Goodman. I'm here with David King. Thank you for watching the show, and have a great night.